Hi everyone, it's Jenny Helpman here. It's the 2nd of December, and I don't know if you've noticed, but December, traditionally, for the past 8 years, doTERRA has a promotion on for frankincense. Christmas, frankincense, holiday season. So any order of 200 PV or more, which this could be an enrollment order, this could be your first time ever order, it could be an LRP order, which means a loyalty rewards program order, which means you've been ordering regularly for months already, or it could be your first LRP order, or it could be a one-off order. But if the total is 100 PV, which is product points, which is about, 200 PV, which is about £200, you get a free 15 milliliter bottle of frankincense. And you will get the product of the month, which is Holiday Joy, and a little decoration to hang on your tree to diffuse this holiday scented clove, cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, wild orange blend. So that's a really great offer that's very generous, because considering that the wholesale price of one bottle of frankincense is £57, it's a really great deal. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why frankincense means so much to me, and about I'm going to try and summarise a 20-minute webinar that I will post below. So if you've got time to watch that, it's well worth it. It's an interview between Justin Harrison and Dr. Hill, who is one of the chief medical officers for doTERRA. And it's all about a blend that includes frankincense called Novo Prime or DDR Prime. So in the States, in America, it was originally called DDR Prime, which stands for DNA Damage Repair. And in Europe, for some reason, they changed the name to Novo Prime. But it's exactly the same blend. So this blend is all about cellular health. And in the webinar, they are working very hard to be FDA compliant, which means that they're not allowed to name conditions that it was designed to treat or to help prevent. But I'm not them, and I'm not in that webinar, and I'm just giving this live to you, from me to you, in my closed group. So I'm going to just spell it out. And one of the diseases that this is all about is, of course, cancer. When we talk about cell health, we're often talking about cancer, but obviously it could also be any other disease, especially inflammatory diseases. So cancer is quite a big one for me. Both my dad, my uncle, and my grandmother have all died of cancer. My mother and I have both had breast cancer, or we've had pre-cancerous tumours. My mother's 83, this was 16 years ago. I still have my lump, it doesn't bother me at all. And along the way, the journey, I've learned a lot about how to prevent and treat cancer, both conventionally and alternatively. And I'm not here, there's the Cancer Act that says it's illegal for anyone to claim to cure cancer unless they're an oncologist. But then if you look at oncology results, you'll see that even oncology can't really treat it. The actual statistics and the survival rates aren't that great. If you're looking at radiation and chemotherapy. So I'm not claiming to treat it or promising that any product can cure you of cancer, but I do know from experience that there is a lot of natural, super wonderful, safe products out there on the market that can prevent and do a lot to treat cancer. And I'm just talking from my own experience. So frankincense is one of them. And it's not just me saying this. If you look at PubMed, so PubMed is the standard database for medical peer-reviewed studies. Last time I looked, I'll post a link below, but there are about 80 studies into the use of frankincense for treating cancer. So that's, this is conventional medicine is still catching up. I mean, the study of essential oils and what they can really do is still quite a new field of study, but it's a rapidly growing one. And doTERRA is really at the forefront of collaborating with all kinds of distinguished scientific research organisations around the world to conduct these studies. And it's out of these studies that Novo Prime and DDR Prime was developed. So the 7 oils in DDR Prime, Novo Prime, are frankincense, thyme, lemongrass, clove, Nioli, which is not to be confused with neroli, wild orange, and summer savoury. So frankincense is quite amazing, and also lemongrass, in that they found that it's useful not only for regenerating cells and for fixing DNA actually inside the cells, but it's also useful for apoptosis. And apoptosis is just a fancy word for natural cell death. Every single one of our cells in our bodies dies and is regenerated and recreated, and so that we have an entirely new body every 7 years, apparently. So that's a normal, healthy life cycle of a cell. It doesn't change who we are, we generate fresh skin cells all the time. So that's true of all our cells. So apoptosis is a normal, natural part of the cell's life. And cancer is where the cell is diseased or damaged but refuses to die. That's how we get tumours. So you want apoptosis to work properly. And frankincense and lemongrass oils have been found to aid in both regenerating healthy cells and helping cells that are damaged to die off to make space for new healthy cells. So thyme is also well known for healing damaged DNA. And then there are oils in there that are extremely beneficial in terms of their antioxidative properties. So these are clove, wild orange. I mean, clove is like the most highly antioxidative substance known to mankind. I mean, it's just off the scale. And summer savoury. And the nioli is actually a relative of melaleuca. So many of you are familiar with tea tree oil, which is also called melaleuca. And nioli is from the same family. And it's not the same as neroli. Neroli oil is from the flower of an orange tree. So those are the 7 oils in DDR Prime or Novo Prime, and it's produced in Europe as a capsule that you take daily. And this is hugely beneficial both preventatively and to help repair damaged cells that are damaged for whatever reason or whatever named disease you're dealing with. So it's become a real bestseller, and I think they've started including it in the Cleanse and Restore kit, but I'll have to double check that. So it's a really popular blend. So that's just a little bit of why I love frankincense. And if I, oops, slippery fingers there, if I had a loved one right now with frankincense and I just had one oil that I could give them, either diffusing by their bed or massaging onto them or just letting them have a little sniff or putting in their water or a drop under their tongue, it would be frankincense. If there was one thing I could do for a loved one who was really ill, it would be give them frankincense. I mean, there's a reason why it has such a strong history and biblical story, and why it's so highly revered. And doTERRA is frankincense. I've made videos about this before, but it is the best quality, most potent, most therapeutic frankincense oil on the market. And they also do boswellic acid products. So that's the ground raw frankincense, the resin that's then formed as a powder, and that's also available in their deep blue polyphenol blend, which is not an oil blend, it's a supplement. And so there's frankincense in that too. So if someone is up to, if they're not having the chemotherapy and they have a fully functioning digestive system, then that's a great way to also supplement frankincense, is from the deep blue polyphenol supplementation capsules. But if they're really ill and there's nothing else you can do and they're in hospital, quite often the hospitals won't mind if you have a diffuser in the room, or you give them a little massage with some frankincense along their spine or the back of their neck, and that can make a huge difference to just at least helping someone to feel better. But in terms of prevention, everyone needs to at least know about frankincense. So don't take my word for it. Do your research. Take responsibility for your healthcare and your future healthcare. This is like insurance, health insurance in a bottle. So take advantage of this wonderful frankincense promotion this month. So basically you spend about £200 and you get a product that's worth about £60 for free. So it's not a bad deal, and you know, if you club together with your friends or you want to get a few Christmas presents, it's quite easy to make an order for 200 PV and get your free frankincense. So that's it from me for now. Bye.